Coming up on Mountain News at 6, the mother who was arrested in connection with the death of a 17-month-old toddler has her preliminary hearing. Plus, Governor Andy Beshear visits eastern Kentucky as he announces the final step of the Mountain Parkway expansion.
Plus, higher rain chances move back into the region by midweek. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The preliminary hearing for Erica Lawson was today. She is the mother arrested in connection with the death and abuse of her 17-month-old toddler in Middlesboro. WYMT's Madison Carmouche has more on where the case goes from here.
Erica Lawson had the right to a preliminary hearing, but she waived that right and sent the case directly to the grand jury.
Which means that probable cause is acknowledged, and then it moves on to the grand jury, which means that officer now brings it to me. We will present it to the very next grand jury, is the hope, which will be within the month of August.
Fugit says she is hopeful that Lawson will be presented and indicted by a grand jury.
And based upon what I know from the case and from the officers, I fully expect that grand jury to enhance the current charges, and if they do, one of those being murder, I fully intend to seek the death penalty at her arraignment.
Fugit says that the support from the Bell County community is keeping those in the justice system upbeat and involved.
It's let both the court, judges, everyone involved know that this is very important, not just to the family, but everyone, due to the age of the child and the severity of the abuse that the child suffered.
The Commonwealth's attorney says that by waiving her preliminary hearing, that does not mean Lawson will be pleading guilty. In Bell County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Lawson is being held on a $1 million bond at the Bell County Detention Center. We are also told there are no new developments regarding the investigation at this time. A Lexington teacher is behind bars, charged on nearly 24 counts. 49-year-old Kevin Lentz was arrested this morning. Lentz is facing several counts related to sex crimes involving a minor. We're told Lentz is a teacher at Henry Clay High School. Officials with Fayette County Public Schools say Lentz has been put on administrative leave. One Harlan County man is behind bars as he faces charges for his part in a kidnapping case. It happened last week when the Harlan County Sheriff's Office received information about a woman possibly being assaulted and held against her will. After the suspect was found, deputies identified him as David Owens of Close Splint. Following a traffic stop, deputies found the woman had bruises and red marks around her throat and face. He was taken to the Harlan County Detention Center. One woman is facing charges following a recent incident in Floyd County. Last weekend, Martin Police and State Police were called to a home in the Denwood area for an intoxicated woman threatening to set her house on fire. When officers arrived, they found 60-year-old Tammy Jeffrey hanging out of an upstairs window, screaming and cursing. Jeffrey is charged with terroristic threatening, criminal mischief, and public intoxication and was taken to the Floyd County Jail. 3 people learned their sentences today in connection to a Bourbon County athlete's death. Tyree Connor, Amelia Zahabi Wisdom, and Isaiah Beasley took plea deals in the death of Jacoby Wells. Wells was 21 years old when he was shot and killed in 2020. He was a well-known former student athlete in Paris.
I always think about Jacoby being pushed out of that car, and that tears me up because he was pushed out like trash and left, you know.
Connor admitted to manslaughter in his plea deal. Zahabi Wisdom admitted to facilitating murder. Beasley admitted to facilitating robbery. All 3 admitted to evidence tampering. 2 firefighters were taken to the hospital after trying to put out a fire in Rockcastle County. The Mount Vernon Fire Department says crews were called to a fire at a home around 4 a.m. this morning. The home was already destroyed when crews arrived. Fire officials say one firefighter was taken to the hospital by EMS to be treated for medical issues, while another went for an arm injury. We do not know the conditions of the firefighters at this time. A Red River Gorge hiker is safe and dry after calling for help from the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team. Last night, the rescue team responded to a 911 call about a lost female hiker. Bad weather had just passed through and the area was known to be dangerous. The team was able to find her near the coordinates she had on her phone. Eventually, they hiked her out of the area using a longer route than usual because of post-storm conditions. One Leslie County community wants cleaner water. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked to some folks about the condition of their water and how they are adjusting to issues with it.
Deep in the hollows of Leslie County, the Yettis community is pleading for cleaner water. The water they currently have comes from pumps drilled far into the ground. Even through filtration, an orange tint comes out with it.
If you try to cook with this water, like a hard, like dark brown film comes to the top, and like you could scrape it out with a spoon. And anytime this water gets heated up, it's like, I don't know, the chemicals are crazy in it.
Some shower in the water, which they say is causing health issues. So they use water bottles and jugs as much as possible.
I have a 5-year-old child, and it's irritating to try, even brushing her teeth, she wants to grab the faucet water, and you got to give her a bottle of water to brush her teeth with.
Through what they say is multiple attempts to draw attention from county leaders and the water district, they have not found a solution.
We went and got a petition together once, and we got just about everybody in the holler here to sign it.
Meanwhile, frustration continues to increase as they wait.
I don't see why they can't put it in here, All of us, we pay taxes like everybody else,
Community members hoping for help in an area they call home. In Leslie County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Leslie County Water District officials tell us they are working to get funding that would give them the ability to serve all of the county. One Central Kentucky Animal Care and Control organization is seeing an increase of cases involving illicit drugs. Lexington Fayette Animal Care and Control says they've seen 4 separate cases of dogs overdosing within the last month. Out of the 4 dogs, only 1 has survived. Whether it be opioids, amphetamines, or prescription drugs, any amount of toxicity can cause harm to an animal.
So much in the same way that these drugs can kill a person, they can kill an animal. And the bigger problem is that, if you compare the size of a person to the size of a dog, whether, a Chihuahua, for example, the same amount of drug that a person may take is a ginormous dose. Or for a Chihuahua, it's such a high dose, and it can be very dangerous for them.
Dr. Goggins says around 1 to 3 cases a week involve illicit drugs or other toxins, usually in dogs.
We are still tracking spotty showers across the mountains into your Tuesday evening. Here's a look at First Alert Pinpoint Doppler. A heavier shower now not too far away from Interstate 75 in Rockcastle County, just to the northeast of downtown Mount Vernon right now. Also watching out for a few more spotty showers just to the southeast of Prestonsburg and Floyd County, stretching into portions of Pike County, also Dickinson and Buchanan counties in southwest Virginia as well. Now, for most of us, we do stay dry as we go into tonight. Those overnight lows falling into the middle 60s for most of us, possibly though some lower 60s to upper 50s in those cooler pockets as you wake up on Wednesday. Also watching out for that dense fog as you wake up as well. But check this out, the rain chances, they go up big time by Wednesday night into Thursday as our next weather system pushes through, and some of the rain could be a little bit heavy in some places. Those details on the way in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thanks. Team Kentucky gathered at the Mountain Arts Center today, announcing the new company chosen to work on the last section of a project they say is well overdue. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the plans.
Today is a home run for Eastern Kentucky.
As of today, every part of the Mountain Parkway, the 4-laning project, is either complete, under construction, or under contract.
The final stage of a decades-old project is paving the way to progress.
It will deliver hope
to our people here in the region.
Governor Andy Beshear announced the contractor selected to complete the final piece of the Mountain Parkway expansion.
Bizac Construction is located in Eastern Kentucky, employs Eastern Kentuckians, pays taxes in these regions.
Putting local boots on the ground to complete a project that broke ground 60 years ago.
Before they ever put a shovel in the ground, that's helping our economy. And that's what it's about. Local people doing a local job with their pride.
Officials say the decision to make a new 13-mile 4-lane road will provide a safer interstate-like travel.
For business and so much opportunity, this is a game changer. This is an artery into Eastern Kentucky that we can then build off of for generations to come.
Connecting Prestonsburg to Salyersville without cutting off those who rely on the current road every day.
So that cross-country route is going to be less intrusive to the folks on 114, and it's also going to give us the ability to maintain our tax base.
Carrying through with a promise made more than half a century ago.
A lifelong dream of the people of the mountains to see this highway built and to now see it 4-laned. I think the governor from the mountains would be smiling down upon us today.
In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The exact timeline for the project has yet to be released, but representatives with Bizac Construction say it will be completed, quote, pretty quickly. Governor Andy Beshear was also in Lexington today, touting recent successes for Kentucky tourism. State officials say last year was the best year in state history for tourism, economic impact, and employment. About 75 million travelers visited the state in 2022, bringing in nearly $9 billion into the state's economy. Officials say 2023 is shaping up to be a great year as well.
60% of travelers who visited Kentucky in 2020 reported that they felt that Kentucky was a safe travel destination.
Fayette County broke the $1 billion mark in total revenue earned due to the spike in tourism.
Well, most of us are dry this evening, but some changes are on the way. Those details coming up after this break.